Good everyone, my name is Graphics. If you look at the left hand side of the screen, you will see a figure and we are told to reproduce this figure in isometric projection. The first thing you do when you hear the word isometric is for you to draw your isometric axis, drawing the vertical axis which is representing the y-axis and drawing the horizontal axis which is inclined at 30 degrees. So they're representing the x and what? And the z axis in this manner. X and z axis. You can see that. Now if you look closely, we want to get the entire height. The entire height here is given to be 50. As you can see, that is the height of the cylinder. That is the highest point of this figure. So I am going to measure the entire height here to be given as what? 50. So from 0 to 5 is 50. Can you see that? And the entire width here will be the diameter of that same cylinder, and that is given to be since the radius is given to between 2.5, meaning that the diameter will be what? Multiplying this radius by 2, and that will be what? 45. So I'm going to measure 45 from 0, and this is 40, 45. Can you see that? And the length here is given to be, if you look from this point here to this center here is 15, and from this center here to the next center here is 75. That will be what? That is 90. And from this center here to the next center here is 35, and 90 plus 5 is 100 and what? 125. And from the center here, the radius to this circle here, of this circle here, is what? 15. So everything making what? 140. So I'm going to measure 140 from this point here. So from 0 to what? To 14 is 100 and what? 140. Hope you can see that. Then I'm going to use my instrument, right? And I'm going to draw vertical lines on this point this way. Or better still, what I did here, that I draw my line, I will come here too. I am going to do the same thing. I'll project this way, right? I'll come here too. I'll do the same thing. I'll project this way. Can you see that? Then those points I measured, I'll take them up this way. Then I'll come to the next point here too. I'll do the same thing here too, this way. Right? Then I am going to come here. I will take this in this direction. Then I'll come here this way too. I'll bring this up. This way. Hope you can see that. So in doing that, we've successfully drawn this. And the next thing we're going to do is for we to draw this point here, right? So we should get the center of this figure, and it's easy to get the center. If you don't want to measure, what you should just do is to join diagonals. So when I join this diagonal to this diagonal here, this way, hope you can see that. I'll just draw a line this way. I'll come here also. I'll do the same thing here too. I'll draw another line this way. So where they meet will be the center of that figure. And when I take that point down this way, let me zoom this up so you get to see what I'm talking about. So when I take that point down this way, can you see that? They are meeting at this point here. So this point they are meeting, if you look closely to that figure, you will discover that it is 15. So that means I'm going to measure 7.5, 7.5. Then I'll now measure 10, 10. Start taking, or so let's do that and see. So once I take my meter rule this way and I place it at that center point there, put 0 there. Can you see that? This is 0. So if I measure, this is 5, 6, 7.5 is at the center here. I'll come again, 5, 6, 7.5 at the center here. Hope you can see that. Then I can easily take it up a little bit. So after the 7.5, I'll take this up. I'll come here too. I'll take this up. Right? Then if you look closely, you will now measure 10, 10 in both sides. 10 you are looking at. So I'm going to measure 10. So from 0, I'll measure 10. And from 0 here also, I'll measure 10. You can see that? And I'll take it up in this fashion. I'll take it up too in this fashion. Now after you've done that, the height given in this figure here is given to be 20. So I'm going to measure the height of what? Of 20. So let's do that and see. Once I place it here, from 0 to 2 is 20. From 0 to 2 is what? 20. I can just mark it there. Then I'll now draw an horizontal line across those points. Draw an horizontal line across this point this way. Draw an horizontal line across this point. Meaning that all these points here is thickened. Is thickened in this way. This also is thickened. This also is thickened. This also is thickened. Then here is closed. Here too is closed. Can you see that? And I'll take my rule. I'm going to extend this inward this way. Extend this too inward this way. Extend this too inward this way. And I will extend this too inward this way. So we want to draw that curve that you're seeing at that point. So what I'll do is, if you look at, I will not have to give myself too much of stress. I'm going to get the radius of that arc there, which is given to be, before that, for me to get the center of this circle, this arc here, I will measure what? 15 from this point. So if you measure the 15 from here, from 0 right to 15 at this point, and I'm going to draw a line from that point in this fashion, right? And this center line here that I drew here, that is touching here, I will take it inward. Hope you can see that. So they're meeting at this point. So what I will just do is, I'll take my compass and I'll place it here to this point here. Can you see that? And I'll mark here, and I'll mark here. Right, it's already there on its own. So I'll make it to form a box. So let's form the box and let's see how it goes. Once I place it here, I'll have this. And when I place it here, I'll have this. So this is where they are meeting. So let me say here is 1, here is 2, here is 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. So I'll join 5 and 1 together. Can you see that? Remember there are these points here. Now I will now move from 3 to touch 8, and I'll move from the same 3 to touch 6. So they are meeting at this point here. So what I'll simply do is just to take my meter rule and I'll place it here at this point here. Take it to 6 so that I'll connect this together. Can you see that in this version? And I'll come to this point here when a inclined line meets this. Take it to 6, right? Then I'll connect it to 4. So we can see that. And once I've done that, I will now take in these two parts here, from here to here, and also from here to here. Hope you can see that. Now the next one is the one in again, and the radius of that one is given to be 7.5, which is already there, so I don't have to stress myself. So I'll just already gotten 7.5. So from this center here to this point, 7.5, what we did earlier. To this point, they're the same thing, right? So I'll just mark up and I'll mark down. And I'll do it to form the box. So when I place it this way, it will touch this. Come here to touch this, right? So I'll just join from this point to go and touch this point here, and from this point to go and touch this point here. Can you see that? So they are meeting here and what? And here. So I'll take my compass, I'll place it at this end so I can connect this to this. Hope you can see that. If I do that, this is what I'll be having. Then I'll come to this point where it meets here, and I'll get this. Can you see that? So if I bring that out, this is what I'm going to be having. I'll taking all this out now this way. So that's what we have, and I can just easily take this inward as shown in the figure. What I am just doing is replicating the given view, right? So I'll have this. Can you see that? Now aside that, the thickness between this and the other arc here is what? Is 5 mm. So I am going to measure 5 mm downward, right? So let me do that first. 5 mm downward. So from this same point here, I'll just take it down a little bit. Take it down to a little bit. and I'll measure 5 mm downward. So from 0 here, from 0 here to this point here is 5. Can you see that? And if I transfer that point from this point here, putting it on your t-square, from this point, transfer this point to here, right? And I'll bring it down to, then transfer this point from here, just to avoid too much lines. I'll place it here. Now I'll join from here to here. Can you see that? So once I've joined that, I can easily now transfer my point. I use this point to get this arc. Definitely, if I transfer this point from here to here, I can easily get the other arc that I need, right? So let me just take this inward this way. Can you see that? Let me make it more visible. So if I now place it, remember that I'll bring it down this way to touch here. Then I'll come here. To get this arc here. Can you see that? So once I've done that, I can now take this from here to just touch here first. Hope you can see that. As shown in the figure you can see on the screen. Then the thickness of this here to here is 10. So I'll now measure another 10 downward from this point. From 0 to 10. Right? And once I've done that, just mark that point downward. So I can easily draw my faint line there first of all. This way. Let me make it more visible. So aside that, if you look the figure very well, there's another circle at the base too. So I'll also do the same thing. Bring this line downward. Remember that I'm always placing my t-square on my set square on my t-square, right? So don't get it twisted. So I'll place it, bring it down this way. Right? Bring this one down this way too. And bring this one down to this way. So I now extend this one out from here to touch here, and take this one too from here. It touches to the next point here, right? And take this one from here too to touch here. So I'll now join the diagonals from this point to this point, just to avoid too much lines. That is why I'm putting it this way. So once I've drawn that line on that point here, I'll transfer this point I used here, to transfer them down here. Can you see that? And I will now draw my arc. So in drawing my arc, is that okay? I'll just take this downward this way from this point, right? From this point, Let me take this in so we know what we're actually fighting with. I'll draw my line this way. So it means that my arc will be touching that line. So from here, can you see that? But it will just touch the body of that one here and stop here. So let me just, sorry, that's check. So let's that again from here. Hope you can see that. Once I've done that, I can now close it up like this. You can see that. Don't forget these lines that we have here, faint line. We're coming back to it. So once I have done that, the next thing that's remaining is for me to locate the cylinder. Now where is the cylinder? This is the cylinder here. So from this center here to where the cylinder is placed is what? 75, as you can see on the screen. So I'm going to measure 75. So I'll just take this center here. I'll just draw this line this way. And when I take that center point that I use to draw this arc, so where's the center point? The center point is here. So when I take it up, that is from here to here is 15. Then when I take it up, this way to meet here. Then from this point I marked here, I'll now measure that 75 you can see. So from 0 to 75 is here. Can you see that? So to be at that point of 75, I'll just draw a line across that point this way. Can you see that? Then I am going to place my compass at the center point, take it to the end here, this 22.5. Now mark up, then I'll mark down. So I'll take them to form a box this way. Three, two. Can you see that? And I can easily bring the cylinders down straight ahead like this. Just bring that part out. So once I've done that, so let's do the up one first. Join the diagonals. Then connect from here to here. And from here to here. Can you see that? This is where it's located. Now before I proceed forward, if you look at there is a thickness here, as you can see, it's given to be what? That is 5 millimeter, right? So what I'll just do is I'll measure 2.5 to the left and also measure 2.5 toward the right. This 5 millimeter you can see here. So let me just do that. So from 0 here, is 0. So this is 1, 2, in middle of it is 0.5. Another 0, 1, 2, in middle of it is what? 0.5. So this is what I need. So now just, you see why I'm doing that though. So I'll just take it in, take my compass, and I'll draw an arc this way from this point. to touch here. Can you see that? But I will not pass here to do what I'm having. So I'll just stop there. Turn the other way around too. From here, I'll do the same thing too. Can you see that? And I'll come to this point here. I'll do the same thing here. Sorry, it was checked. Let me adjust that. Can you see that? Then I'll come here too. I'll do the same thing. Hope you can see that. So I'm stopping at this point here. And at this point here. So I'll just take it in a little bit. Just like this. And here too. Take it in a little bit. Now there's another circle inside. And that circle inside has a radius of 12.5. Right? Meaning that 25 is the diameter of the circle. You can see it. So I'll just measure 12.5 on my meter rule this way. So from 0, 10, 11, 12.5 here. All together. If I just come here, I'll mark 12.5, 12.5, 12.5, and 12.5. Use it to form a box. I should be doing all this while. So that's from here. Draw my line this way. Draw it this way. Now this. Now this. Can you see that? So once I've done that, I'll now do the same thing. Take my meter rule, connect this end to this end here, then connect this end to this end here. So once I have done that, I can easily take my compass from here, then I'll get this curve. But the curve will not pass that line. Stop here. And this one too, place it here. Then I'll come here too. And I'll come here. From here to here. Hope you can see that. And I'll just close it up. I'll close it up. Can you see that? And I'll bring it down this way. And I'll bring it down this way. As you can see from the figure you see. So what I will do is the same thing. Look at the diagram very well. At the base, Right, there's another one again, so I'll do the same circle at the base, just the same here. We'll join from here to here, then I'll transfer the point downward. What point? The point I used to get this arc, which is this. I'll transfer it downward. This is where it is. Then here also, this point here, transfer it downward. You can see that? So you can easily just take this here and take this here. This is where they meet. So once you've done that, just take your compass, place it here to this end here, and just connect this like this. First of all, faint line, and you come here also, you do the same thing here too. Close it up, you just stop here. Can you see that? As shown from the figure you can see at the right hand side. So I can easily just stick in here, which will make me now join from this point to this point here. You can see that. Then the next thing that we are doing here is that I will now measure 35 downward to get another inclined line. So from this point here, I'll measure 35 downward. So let's do that and see. Or if I'm not doing that, I can easily just take, let me just do that to see what we're talking about. So from this point here, measure 35 downward from 0. Alright, and this is 35, or you come from the center. Come from the center and measure 35 downward from the center here. Take it down. So on that line, measure 35. So this is 35 here. From 0 to 35. Still almost the same thing here. So from that center line, that is when you now join your 4 cardinal points. But you don't have to stress yourself. Since you measure from here to here, is 35. Still come to this end here, mark 35. Come to this end here, so mark 35. So just join them together with a straight line. Can you see that? So what you should just simply do here, you draw another curve also. So I can just connect here like this, right? And I'll connect here like this. So if I take my instrument, and I'll close it up too. And I'll close it up too. So just bring out that box. So this is where both of them meet here at this point. From that point, I'll take my compass to that point there. Then I'll do another arc again. Can you see that? So if you look at the figure closely, you will see that there is a thickness from that 35 downward with what? 10. Another thickness of 10. So I can easily measure 10 downward from that point. So you take your meter rule from here, you measure 10. So from 0 to 10, this is where the 10 is. Hope you can see that. And you do the same thing that you did earlier. So I can easily take my compass from this point, right? Or you just take it from the center point. Let's take from center point 10. So from here, I'll measure 10 downward to get her that way. From 0, this is 10 here. Can you see that? So if I just come from here, I take this 10 from here to here, 10. I'll come here to, I'll mark 10. I'll come here to, I'll mark 10. And I'll join the diagonals. So if I join the diagonals, this is what I'll be having, right? So with the help of my compass, I can even come here too. Now let's mark 10 here. The same 10 I marked. Right? And from here I mark 10. I mark 10. And also I marked what? I mark 10. So I'll come to this point here and I'll mark the 10. This is the 10 here. So on this point I'm going to draw my arc. But before I do the arc, to avoid you having some problems, just bring your lines. Just join from here to here. And also you join from here to here. So that will be your border. So where was I? See, you place it at this point here, because this from here to here is 10, right? So this is my 10. From here, let's come here. I have this. So that is what we have. So I'll just join it. So this will be joining this from here to this point. Let me show you very well. So this, you draw a line tangential to this point here. Then the next one from here too. So another line tangential to this point. Hope you can see that. Now I can now tick in this. Hope you can see that. So in doing that, we're still on it. There is a web, right, that is connecting this to this point. You can see, and thickness is 10. So what I'll just do, I'll just measure 10 from this point 6 here. I'll measure 10, 5, and 5. From this point here also, I'll measure 5 and 5. So you use your rule and you connect it. Use your rule and you connect it. Can you see that? Now remember that we use this arc here to get this arc here, right? So I'll just complete it down here. I have my reason. So in doing that, you just bring your line from this point. You bring your line from this point, right, with your pencil. You bring it down. You come and touch here. Can you see that? Then you take this in. right? So I can easily now pick in this from here to this point. So you can see that. So if you can look the diagram very well, that is what we have there. Now the next thing is to draw what we have behind. You're taking. So what we simply do is this line, this same center line you see, you drag it downward this way. Can you see that? So once you've done that, the next thing is to get the center of this arc, this line you see. And you know the center, since the height is 50, the center will be what? 25. Since the height of this cylinder is 50, meaning the center will be what? 25. So I'll just measure 25 from up here. From 0, and I'm going to measure 25. So once I've done that, I can easily take it in. Just draw all those lines I have here. Can you see that? So if you look at it closely, I can just bring this one down here a little bit before I forget that. Right? And take those points to move from here to touch here. Going to move from here to touch here. So bring it down, touching this line. Bring it down, touching this line. Can you see that? So let's bring this down a little bit. Right? So we are here. So from here, what you do is if you look closely from that center line you have here, we already measured out the 5. This is 5, this is 5. So the next thing is what? 13. So from here measure 13, and from here measure 13. So I will come from this point. This is 13 here, and from here too. This is 13 here. Can you see that? And you can start bringing it down. So let's bring that down this way. And this one too. Down this way. So what you do is the thickness, the radius there is given to be 15. As you can see from the diagram, we have 15 there. Diameter of that circle arc here is 15. So just take your compass and you measure 15. So from 0 to 15, then you place it here. You mark 15 up and you mark 15 down. Can you see that? And also come here too. You mark 15 up and you mark 15 down. Can you see what I'm doing? Now what I'll just do next is now take that 15 inward from here. Touching here. And from here too. Touching here. Did I do that? Yes. And from here too. Take it inward. And you just join them together here. Touch here. And this. Touch here. And you take it in. Can you see that? So at this place here, that is where I'm going to draw my arc. So what you simply do is, since it's here measure 15, just take that line outward like this. So take your compass, place it here. You know from here to here is 15. So just take the distance from here to here. Then you cut. Right? Then you form your box. Right? And then diagonals. Right? So where it meets with the horizontal line, and take it up. This is where they are meeting. So if I draw a line from this point to touch here, and from this point to touch here, so they're meeting at this point and at this point. Hope you guys are understanding this. So before I proceed, please don't forget to subscribe to this channel if you know you are finding this video helpful. Don't forget to like the video, and also if you want to draw this in first angle or in third angle projection, click on this link at the top right corner here. What is displaying? The link you're seeing here, what is displaying at the top right corner of the screen? You click on it, and also you can also join my membership where you have different offers there. Right, you get different videos on mathematics, mechanics of machine, mechanical engineering science, and many more incentives you're going to be getting when you join my membership. So we proceed. Now, once you've done that, you just have to just take your compass, place it here to this point, and you can get all you need here. Just again. Hope you can see that. Then you come here again, you place it here. You come here and get the other one. You can see that. So I will now join it to this point. From here, I can come here. Can you see that? And I'm going to thicken this also. So let me do that. So you can see that. So you do the same thing here also. So it is simple. You can do this. There are many ways you can go about this. One thing you just need to do is to avoid too much lines. At this point here, where this inclined line meets this, draw another straight line this way. Then you take the thickness, you do from here to here. Can you see that? So I'll just come to this point. I'll mark. When I mark, I'll now join the diagonals. Can you see that? So I'll transfer the point. This point you see, transfer it to the next line. I can join this to this, which I'll thicken. Can you see that? So when I place it here, I can easily just get this. Then I can take it in. Can you see that? And you do the same thing here too. I can easily just come here and take this inward this way, right? So once I've done that, the distance, once I've done that, I can actually just transfer those points, use parallel lines. So if I place my rule on this inclined line this way, can you see that? And I take my other set square and I place it here this way. I usually move it to the next point I need here. I come here too, and I need here. So this is the inclined lines I need. So I'll transfer the points I need. So if I come here from this point, right, I'll just mark here and here. So with the help of my compass, once I place it here, I'll have this way. So let's close that point up. Right? This is what we have here. Can you see that? And I can just transfer this here to touch the other side, which I will transfer this to. And I'll close it up. Hope you can see that. So the next thing that we have is there is a circle here. That should be the final piece that we are looking for. Is that again? So when I do that, just for me to draw the circle here. So at this point where they meet, the radius of the circle is given to be 8 because diameter is 16. So I'll just measure 8 on my meter rule from 0 to 8. Can you see that? And I'll place it here. 8, 8, 8, and 8. Then use to form a box. So when I place it this way, too, get to then join this end to this end and this end to this end. So this is where they are. So you can take your compass, place it here, and you have this. Sorry. Then here too. We have this too. Right? This is here. Here you come here. You come here. So that will have. I can easily take in it. Right. So we can just do the rest. There's um a line. Since whatever we have here, we have it in the same place too. That again. So I'll just place it this way. From this point here. From this point. Just so just move it from here to be tangential to this point. Can you see that? That is what we have. After you have joined this, the next thing you have to do is you bring this down. As you can see from the given view displaying on what? On the screen, right? So let's do that to see. Right? And what else is remaining? Nothing else. So we successfully reproduce the figure that is displayed at the right hand side of the screen. Please, if you found this video helpful, don't forget to like, subscribe, and also don't forget to share the video. Right? Thanks for watching.